In the city of Seoul, there was a grandmother who has not seen a single cockroach inside her kitchen in over 30 years. Her neighbors spray. They trap. They call exterminators twice a year. They spend hundreds. And every summer, the cockroaches come back. This grandmother has spent less than $2, and she wins every time. If you have ever found a cockroach in your kitchen, behind the stove, under the sink, inside a cabinet, you already know what happens next. You spray. It disappears. And 3 weeks later, you find another one, and another. And you start to wonder if you are just living with them now. You are not alone. But here is what is strange. If you walk into a traditional Korean kitchen right now, not a modern apartment, but the kind of kitchen that has been operating the same way for generations, you will not find a cockroach. Not one. Not a trap. Not a spray bottle under the sink. Nothing. And it is not because Korean homes are cleaner. It is because they understand something about cockroaches that the pest control industry has never needed you to know. Before I give you the method, you need to understand why everything you have tried has been failing. Cockroaches have been on this planet for over 300 million years. They survived every mass extinction. They survived conditions that killed the dinosaurs. You cannot win a chemical war against something that has been evolving for 300 million years. And yet every year, Americans spend over $6.3 billion on pest control. $6.3 billion. And cockroach infestations are still the #1 pest complaint in urban households across the US, the UK, and Australia. Here is why the products fail. The spray kills the cockroaches you can see, but cockroaches do not live where you can see them. They live in the wall gap behind your refrigerator. They live in the crack between the cabinet and the floor. They live in the spaces that are 4 millimeters wide, because that is all a cockroach needs. You spray the surface. They retreat 2 inches into the wall. You stop spraying. They return. The pest control industry figured something out a long time ago. If they could make you believe that cockroaches are an ongoing, unavoidable nightmare, you would pay for their products again and again. You are not their customer once. You are their customer for life, because their products are designed to treat the symptom, not cure the cause. Korean households took a completely different path. In Korea, there is a concept deeply embedded in kitchen culture called cheonggyeol. It roughly translates to purity through cleanliness, but the word carries more weight than that. It is not about scrubbing surfaces. It is about making the environment itself inhospitable, removing what attracts, removing what sustains, changing the conditions so the problem cannot exist in the first place. This is not abstract philosophy. It shows up in the Korean kitchen in a very specific, very practical way. In Korean households, the kitchen is treated as an ecosystem, not just a room. An ecosystem that either supports pests or does not, depending on the conditions you create. And Korean grandmothers have understood for centuries that cockroaches are not a cleaning problem. They are a chemistry problem. The goal is not to kill the cockroaches that are already there. The goal is to make your kitchen a place where cockroaches cannot survive. Those are 2 completely different problems, and they require completely different solutions. Here is what most people do not understand about cockroaches. They are not attracted to your kitchen because it is dirty. They are attracted to it because of 3 things: moisture, warmth, and pheromone trails. The pheromone trail is the critical piece. When one cockroach finds a safe entry point into your kitchen, it leaves a chemical trail, invisible to you, but a permanent signal to every other cockroach in the vicinity. The trail says, "This is safe. Come here. Food and water are here." That trail does not disappear when you spray. The spray kills the cockroach. The trail remains. New cockroaches follow it. That is why they come back. Here's the second thing. Cockroaches breathe through spiracles, tiny openings along the sides of their body. They cannot regulate their internal humidity the way mammals can. If the air around them becomes too dry, or if their respiratory system is blocked, they die. Not from poison, from basic biology. And here is where the science gets interesting. Certain natural substances, specifically bamboo charcoal and diatomaceous earth, do not poison cockroaches. They disrupt their ability to breathe and absorb moisture at the cellular level. Bamboo charcoal absorbs the pheromone trails while simultaneously desiccating the local environment. Diatomaceous earth, which looks like white powder but under a microscope is actually razor-sharp crystalline silica, cuts through the waxy coating on a cockroach's exoskeleton. Without that coating, the cockroach cannot retain moisture. It dies within 24 to 72 hours. Not from a chemical reaction, from dehydration. This is not a pesticide. It is a physics problem that Korean kitchens solved 300 years before the pest control industry existed. The method has 2 stages. Stage 1 is the reset. Stage 2 is the barrier. And the barrier is where the permanent result comes from. You will need 5 things. Bamboo charcoal pieces, available at most Asian grocery stores or online for under $8 a bag, and that bag will last years. Food-grade diatomaceous earth, available online or at garden stores for under $12 for 2 kilograms. Gochugaru, Korean red pepper flakes, not standard chili flakes, because gochugaru has a specific capsaicin profile that disrupts cockroach sensory systems differently. A small brush or old makeup brush for application, and a dry cloth for daily maintenance. Start in the evening. Cockroaches are nocturnal. This is when they are most active and most exposed. Take your diatomaceous earth and using the brush, apply a thin line about 2 millimeters wide along the following locations: the gap between the back of your stove and the wall, the underside of your kitchen cabinets where they meet the floor, the gap around the pipe under your sink, and any cracks in the baseboards. Thin is critical here. A thick pile of diatomaceous earth does not work. Cockroaches will walk around it. A thin line forces them to walk through it. Now place 4 to 6 pieces of bamboo charcoal directly under your refrigerator and inside your sink cabinet. The bamboo charcoal begins absorbing the pheromone trails immediately. Within 48 hours, the chemical signal that has been guiding cockroaches to your kitchen starts to disappear. Take 1 tablespoon of gochugaru and place small piles, each about the size of a fingernail, at the 2 or 3 main entry points you have identified. If you have found cockroaches near the back of your stove, place the gochugaru there. If they have appeared under the sink, place it there. Gochugaru does not kill cockroaches on contact. What it does is create a sensory barrier. The capsaicin disrupts their antennae, which they use to navigate. They will not cross a gochugaru line. Get the application sequence right. Diatomaceous earth first, bamboo charcoal second, gochugaru last. Get it wrong, and the diatomaceous earth absorbs moisture from the gochugaru and loses its effectiveness. Get it right, and the results are something you have to see to believe. Leave everything in place overnight. Do not spray. Do not disturb the lines. By morning, you will begin to see what this method does. If this is changing the way you think about kitchen pest control right now, the idea that you can make your kitchen chemically inhospitable to cockroaches instead of just killing the ones you can see, hit subscribe. Every week, this channel covers methods like this that actually solve the problem instead of selling you another product that almost works. The reset removes the existing population and erases the pheromone trails. But here is the real secret that Korean kitchens have used for generations. The prevention habit takes 45 seconds a day. Every morning, before you start cooking, take a dry cloth and wipe the 3 primary entry zones: the base of the stove gap, the area under the sink, the refrigerator base. 1 wipe. Dry, not wet. This removes fresh pheromone deposits before they accumulate and before they can guide new cockroaches toward your kitchen. Diatomaceous earth works only when dry. Water deactivates it. Keep the areas dry and the lines intact. Replace your bamboo charcoal pieces every 3 months. Bamboo charcoal becomes saturated. Once it is fully absorbed, it stops working. 3 months is the maximum effective period. You will know it is time when you notice the charcoal has become slightly lighter in color. That is the entire daily habit. 45 seconds. 1 missed. Everything else continues working without any attention. The deep clean is the reset. The daily habit is what makes the result permanent. Korean households do the reset once. The daily habit is what keeps the cockroaches gone for years. Here is the difference between how the Western pest control industry approaches cockroaches and how Korean kitchen culture approaches them. The pest control approach is reactive. Cockroach appears. You spray, it dies. Another cockroach appears. You spray again. This approach costs you money every time, requires regular intervention, and never addresses the reason cockroaches chose your kitchen in the first place. It is exhausting, and it is designed to be exhausting, because exhaustion means repeat purchases. The Korean approach is proactive. You change the chemistry of the environment before the problem becomes visible. You remove the pheromone trails that guide new cockroaches in. You create physical barriers that cockroaches cannot cross without dying. You take 45 seconds in the morning, and you do not think about cockroaches again. One approach treats your kitchen as a battlefield where you are always losing ground. The other treats it as an ecosystem where you are in control of the conditions. Your kitchen was never the problem. Your spray was never too weak. You were simply fighting biology with chemistry and targeting the symptom instead of the system.